Hello and welcome to the podcast. Hopefully not the last one. At the time of recording this, tensions are really high. You have probably heard the news that the US has authorised the use of its missiles in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And that's been authorised, of course, had to have been by Joe Biden, the current US president. There's two main schools of thought here, as far as I can make out at least. And one is that Biden shouldn't have done that. He had no right to do it, even though he is the US president. What is he playing at? Trump is a few weeks out from getting in power, and he said that he would be able to calm things down and resolve the issue pretty quickly. And I don't mean to demean it when I say the issue, but Trump seems to think he can do it in about 24 hours. I mean, unlikely as that may sound, I hope he's right, but I also hope he gets the chance to do it. So what was Biden doing? And I have to say, when I heard the news, I was pretty shocked and pretty flabbergasted. I mean, this is the guy who at times did seem to be bewildered and sounded incoherent during speeches, debates, and Kamala's lackluster, vacuous campaign didn't exactly instill what I would describe as confidence in her. So what has that administration been doing? How much depth, how much gravitas, how much intellect is actually there in that what seemed to be blancmange during the campaign for the US presidency? But of course, there are always people behind the scenes, and some of those people, at least, are very smart. But what is their agenda? It just seemed like, my gosh, maybe we can find a way to get peace here, and then everything's ramped up. However, different perspective on it is that both Russia and the US are aware that Trump is coming in. So what they're doing is they're trying to ensure that they have the strongest negotiating position as possible. And hence, Russia getting North Korean troops involved, which I mustn't miss out, because some people say that that's one of the reasons Biden has done what he has done. And when you think about it that way, it does kind of make sense from a chess-playing perspective. But unfortunately, we're not simply playing chess. If it is chess, if that's the metaphor, the analogy, then losing has catastrophic consequences. And by losing, I mean that we cannot find a peaceful solution. And so you've just got to hope and pray that the people who are behind the scenes on every side are level-headed enough. And I'm reminded of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which may sound a little bit strange initially, but you're probably familiar with that. And at the bottom of the hierarchy, it's survival, it's heat, light, power, food, water, that type of thing. At the very top of the hierarchy, it's something called self-actualization. Many people describe that in different ways. One way is that it's like spiritual, it's our higher selves. It's perhaps acting with faith, a faith that we have in something. And so those organizing ideas can allow us to be more delicate in our interactions, can allow us to think about the bigger picture, can stop us, perhaps, at least from time to time, reacting and thinking in a binary way. And I just hope that we have leaders, whoever they are, visible and in the shadows, who are not thinking in a quick, sudden survival, fight or flight way. Because if that is the case, it all could be lost. It could be absolutely catastrophic. Now, what I'm not saying is that we shouldn't defend ourselves. Of course we should defend ourselves. Of course people have the right to do that. We have to have that capability. But we don't want to defend beyond a certain point, because then the counter-strike and the strike itself, etc., becomes not necessarily world-ending, but it will change the world as we understand it, and not in a good way. And so one hopes that whilst, yes, thinking about defence, there are level heads out there who can see the bigger picture, and that we have to find a way to generate peace and tranquility and getting along. And you may have noticed that in the States there have been these testimonies about UFOs, or UAPs as they call them these days, and some correlation between nuclear facilities, and they seem to bob about there. What are those things? Where are they from? Is this a power other than the US, or where I'm talking from, the UK? Is it extraterrestrial? Is it interdimensional? Is it some sort of time travel thing? I don't know. But maybe these things are interested because they know that technology, ultimately misused, nuclear, could destroy what we have. And well, they don't seem to be doing anything. So maybe they are time travelers here to observe. And if that's the case, what are they here to observe? And we should heed that. I know that's a flight of fancy, potentially, but it's just odd that that's being talked about right now, although it's been going on for years. But if there is something about nuclear that we probably all understand, is that, yes, it can provide clean, inverted commas, energy, but it is also the most destructive force on the planet. And to go anywhere near it, well, it hardly bears thinking about, but one has got to think about it. So, fingers crossed. Let's hope, let's pray, if that's your thing, that we can literally, I'm going to sound like the old Miss World contestants, have peace on earth. Fingers crossed.